Hello and welcome back to another video on the rest of the day and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And Jared, it's a big show today because we got all of the fallout from Roadblock, which was an eventful show, and we're building up to Stand and Deliver now, which isn't very far away at all. Of course, on WrestleMania weekend, so what's that? 2.5 weeks away. Big show today, and NXT this week kicked off with Johnny Gargano, and the crowd were chanting "Welcome home" for the returning superstar. He talked about how Grayson Waller ruined his life last night on NXT and said he was back to take him down. Vic Joseph walked up to Gargano from the announce deck and showed him a live stream of what looked to be Grayson Waller at his home. Gargano saw the video and immediately ran out of the arena before we headed for a break. Very intriguing side. Just on the whole, great to see Johnny wrestling back on NXT. Who doesn't love to see that? It was interesting. Potentially something to do with Candice, maybe. I guess we'll have to see it goes. An interesting dynamic for the storyline. On the whole, a decent start to NXT, and just so happy to see Johnny back on NXT. But anyway, Gallus then took on Pretty Deadly for the tag team titles. Mark and Elton Prince kicked off the match, but the Chance were in control early before Prince escaped back the ring. Back inside, tags were made, and Kit Wilson came in getting a near fall off a sunset flip. Coffee then got back with a big back body drop before sending Pretty Deadly outside. Back after a break, the Deadly tried to isolate Coffee, but he broke out and tagged Wolfgang, who came in and cleared the ring. Prince distracts the ref while Wilson hit Coffee with the title belt. The Deadly were going for spilt milk, but Wolfgang interfered and broke it out before Gallus picked up the win with their finisher. This gets a 7 out of 10. This is a good match between two of the top tag teams in NXT. Gallus winning and really cementing their dominance. Interested to see the direction Pretty Deadly go from here. Good win for Gallus. I'm really enjoying the stuff between these two at the moment. A good match. Josh Briggs and Fallon Henry then stuck into Kiana James's office and found documents relating to the women's title qualifying match. They also found a book outlining her plans to befriend Brooks and Fallon, as well as her schedule that says she was meeting a certain Sebastian, who also sent her a card. Interesting. We then learned by a tweet from Shawn Michaels that Roxanne Perez wasn't cleared to wrestle, and they might have to crown a new women's champ in the ladder match at Stand and Deliver. The participants in the ladder match will be deciding upcoming qualifying matches. The same one mentioned in Kiana's details. I think we all know that this is going to be Roxanne Perez returning on the night. Babyface hero returning at belt. But anyway, it's then time for Zoe Stark versus Sol Ruka in one of those qualifying matches. Stark was in control early and got some big moves before sending Ruka outside. Back in the ring, Stark got some big elbow strikes while having a submission locked in. Ruka then fought out the hold and got some shoulder blocks and a power slam for a near fall. Sol then got a moves up before Zoe caught her off a springboard dive and hit the go to knee for the win. This gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Been impressed by Sol Ruka recently, so it's a shame she can get the win. Maybe she'll get another opportunity to get in. Zoe Stark, enjoying her heel stuff at the moment as well. Decent match this. Pleased for Zoe Stark to get a big showing on the pay-per-view, so 6 out of 10. It was then time for Fire and Dawn versus Niall and Paxley versus Chance and Carter. Chance, Paxley and Dawn kicked off the match, and we saw some early pin attempts before Fire was tagged in, followed by a double team sequence from Carter and Chance. Niall then came in for a double team suplex on Fire with the help of Paxley before Fire got her with a super kick. Niall was in trouble in the ring and asked Paxley for help, but she rejected and walked away. Niall was taken out before Paxley attacked her at ringside and sent her back in the ring. Fire came in and took Niall down for the pin while Dawn kept the others out of the ring. Kind of two things here. Fire and Dawn winning, which is really good. Happy to see them in the tag title match at Stand and Deliver. I think that's definitely the right team. So that gets 7 out of 10. The breakup of Niall and Paxley, something we kind of see coming. Still eventful when it happened. I think it's the right thing to do, to be honest. Then to have their own interview for a bit and then move on. Good move, I think. Good stuff. Tony D and Stacks were then backstage and they wanted to help Braun Breaker by taking out Common Harris. Braun refused the offer before deciding that they should be chasing tag team gold. Before Ilya Dragunov was up next and said that he had to take out JD McDonough once and for all. McDonough came out and said that they were destined to face each other before Ilya said that it would all end next week. Threats were being made and the two decided on a match before breaking into a brawl. Ilya sent JD over the ropes and fell outside as well before fighting their way into the backstage area and then in the parking lot as NXT moved on. This was good stuff. I can't wait for that match next week. It's going to be absolutely bang. A really good segment as well. I love the all-out brawl. Good stuff. Backstage, Pretty Deadly decided that they were going to host Stand and Deliver. We saw Wesley heading out to the ring. JD and Ilya showed up out of nowhere and still brawling somehow when Wes got involved in the fight before heading back out. Interesting things here. I don't know how Pretty Deadly have just decided they're going to host it, but there we go. The fight continues. Andre Chase and Duke Hudson were then backstage and Ava Rain showed up in a master taunt. Duke and Chase and left before Wesley was out next and most of the locker room came up brawling, including JD and Ilya. Lee joined in the brawl as NXT moved on. Rumour has it they're still brawling now. Dragon Lee was then backstage and we got a short introduction to him And yeah, that was good to see. So hyped to see what he did there. And finally, to end a long spell of backstage segments, JC James was backstage and called Gigi pathetic for using an arm injury to win last week. She vowed to return soon and take Dolly down. And yeah, hope JC's okay if she does have an injury. Legit. Yeah, poor timing for that. So yeah, hopefully she's all good. But it's in time for Apollo Crews versus Double Kato. Crews attacked Kato during his entrance. And sent him into the barricades. The brawl continued at ringside before Kato took control and sent Apollo in the ring. The bell was finally rung and the two headed back outside before Crews sent Kato into the steel steps. Back in the ring, Kato got a big boot before driving his knee into Crews' head on the ropes. Crews then returned with some strikes before Kato hit a long drop. Crews then lifted Kato into a big slam and got a frog splash for a near fall. Before outside the ring, Kato dropped Crews on the steel steps before getting the double choke slam in the ring for the win. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Good win for Double Kato this. Apollo Crews did a good job putting him over as well. Double Kato comes across like a beast. I don't think there's really too much harm in Crews for losing to someone like that. And so yeah, on the whole, this was really good and gets 7 out of 10 from me. Wesley was then seen in a spy cam style video talking to HBK backstage about setting up a multi-man title match at Stand and Deliver before it's time for Kiana versus Gigi. Dolan got the first takedown before Kiana tried to roll her up off a counter. James hit a spear in the corner before getting a near fall off a big slam. Dolan then got a boot to the face before getting a near fall of her own. After some back and forth, Dolan got a big suplex and picked up the quick win. And yeah, this gets 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, a solid enough win for Gigi here. I'm kind of really building her up as a babyface ahead of JC James when she returns. But anyway, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire attacked James after the match before Brooks came in to make the save. And yeah, kind of just progressing that storyline. And yeah, intrigued to see where that goes, especially now in the tag team title match. Gargano then showed up at his house and Waller attacked him in the front yard. The two brawled into the brushes and knocked over a garbage bin before Waller beat Gargano with a rake and broke into it. Candice came out with their baby and tried to get Waller to stop it, but Grayson kept beating Gargano down and walking away. Yeah, we kind of knew this was coming. Grayson Waller, a mega heel at the moment. Johnny Gargano and Mega babyface. Go on, Johnny. Stop him. But yeah, kind of saw where it's coming. But yeah, definitely adds a different layer to this feud. Before Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker were out next to sign their match contract for Stand and Deliver. No one was there to conduct the signing, and Pretty Deadly filled the role. Bron said he wanted to face Melo at his best before the Deadly interjected with some jokes. Melo said he too wanted to beat Bron at his best to prove his worth. We got some more jokes from the Deadly before Melo and Bron signed their contracts and shook hands. They were leaving, but Deadly brought them back for some drama before the two took out Pretty Deadly inside the ring and put them through the table as NXT went off the air. And yeah, heels gonna get punished, and that's exactly what happened here. Braun and Carmelo kind of seem to be quite babyfacey at the moment. Intrigued to see which direction it goes. Still in a few weeks before, but yeah, I can't wait for the match. It's gonna be a banger. And yeah, good segment to end the show here. Overall, NXT this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a solid episode of NXT this week. Some really good matches on the card. And yeah, we're building up nicely to Stand and Deliver now. I think that's fair to say. A lot went down. And yeah, really getting hyped for Stand and Deliver now. I think the card's shaping up to be really, really good. So yeah, on the whole, a really good episode of NXT this week. But anyway, guys, that's it for here. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and as always, comment, and follow the show for daily wrestling news and Scottish channels. Greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.